Okay, darlings, we're going to move forward with our ratios. Yesterday, you learned about ratios. You learned how to set up some problems using ratios and how to find some missing information in a word problem. So we're going to add to that today, and we're going to learn about what we call proportions. And a proportion is really just two ratios that are equal. So I can have a single ratio. Let's say that is 2 to 4. That is a ratio because there is just one of them. I can take that same ratio, put an equal sign, and say, let's see, 16 to 32, which is an equivalent or equal ratio. And no longer do I have just one ratio, I have a proportion. So a proportion is simply when we take a single ratio and we put an equal sign in between another equivalent ratio. So this right here is a proportion. I'm going to expect that you know what a proportion is when you come to class tomorrow. So this is definitely, especially my definition up here and maybe this example, something you should be writing in your notebook. I need you to know that a ratio is just one, and then a proportion is two ratios that are equal to each other. So we're going to talk next about solving proportions. And you know, solving an equation means finding out what the variable is. Well, technically these are equations, right? Because they have equal signs. So when we solve the proportion, we're really just figuring out what our variable is. Yesterday, you did this. You figured out what a missing spot in our ratio was because we talked about fractions and ratios having some of the same behaviors. For instance, if you look at my proportion that I have set up here, 2 to r is equal to 12 to 18. I could think my way through that. 2 somehow turned into 12. And what happened? Well, it got multiplied by 6. So that means some mystery number also got multiplied by 6 and turned itself into 18. So the missing value would have to be 3 because 3 times 6 is 18. But I also want to show you there is a second way to solve proportions. There is not always going to be an obvious way that we turn one value into another. This guy 2 turned into 12 and we easily know that it got multiplied by 6. But that's not always going to be the case. So we have something in our back pocket to use when we can't figure out how one value turned into another. And that is called cross multiplication. And we use cross multiplication when we're solving proportions. So the way it works is we cross over when we're multiplying, meaning diagonally. So I'm going to multiply my r times my 12, and the only thing that turns into is 12r. I'm going to put my equal sign in the middle, and I'm going to go the other direction now. I'm going to do 2 times 18. So cross multiplying means multiplying diagonally and creating an equation with it. So when I do my 2 times 18, that turns into 36. Now, what did I just create for myself? Something that should look very familiar. I created a one-step equation that we worked a long time on understanding how to solve. So I'm going to simply go through my 4 questions and solve this equation. I'm going to draw my wall. I'm going to look over here on the left and see that it's the 12 that I'm getting rid of. The 12 and the r are being multiplied. So the inverse operation is to divide by 12, both sides. So that leaves me with r equals, and 36 divided by 12 is 3. Now that's what we said r was supposed to be. We said it was supposed to be 3. We found it two different ways. The first way over here on the left, we just used a very simple rule figuring out how 2 turned into 12. That's not always going to be easy for us, so we have cross multiplication in our back pocket if we can't figure that out. So I'm going to use cross multiplication with you 2 more times just to show you and help you understand a little better how it works and when to use it. So take a look at my new proportion on the left, this guy over here. I need to figure out what x is. My only clues to go with is how did 6 turn into 10? And is there anything we can multiply 6 by to turn it into 10? There is not. There's no whole number. It would have to be a decimal or a fraction, and that's just too hard. So we're going to use our little trick of cross multiplication. This would be the time to use it. So I'm going to multiply diagonally my 9 times my 10, which is 90. Remember that equal sign goes in the middle. And where does my other side come from? Well, it comes from the other direction. 6 times x is 6x. So cross multiplication gave me this equation that I know how to solve. So I'm going to draw my wall. I know I'm going to look on the right-hand side this time. The 6 is what I want rid of because I want to isolate my x. I see the 6 and x are being multiplied. So therefore the inverse operation is to divide by 6. So I'm going to divide both sides by 6. And 90 divided by 6 is 15. And that leaves me with x equals 15. So we were able to find the value of our x, which is right here, even though we couldn't turn 6 into 10 and figure out what happened here. We use cross multiplying to set up our equation and solve that equation. So let's do one more together. I'm going to go to the right here. I've got 16 to 6 is equal to 3d to 9. And I do not know exactly how to approach this as far as just using one rule. But I do know I can use cross multiplication. So I'm going to do that. That means diagonally, I'm going to multiply 16 times 9. And that is 144. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I paused my video, I got out my calculator, and I did 16 times 9 to make it go a little quicker. I am completely fine if you want to do that when you're working with those larger numbers. If you take 5 minutes to do a multiplication, then it will take you hours to get through the problems today. So it's fine by me to grab a calculator. So 16 times 9 is 144. I'm going to go the other direction. 6 times 3d, and that is 18d. I have myself an equation now, so I'm going to draw my wall, and I'm going to look on the right-hand side. That's where my variable is, and see that I need that 18 to go away. So I'm going to divide both sides by 18 because that's the inverse operation. And 144 divided by 18 is 8. So d equals 8. I have solved my proportion. I figured out what d is.